Fewer people have died so far from overdoses this year in Raleigh than the last 2 years.
But the crisis is still gripping the community. Overdose calls are up. Police have responded to more than 500.
WRAL's investigative data journalist Allie Ingersoll talked with experts about why one number is going down while the other goes up.
Police officers are often on the front lines of the overdose crisis. This year in Raleigh, they've received 520 calls for overdoses, more than one each day. It's almost double the number of calls they received at this point 5 years ago, despite a decrease in the number of opioid prescriptions written.
We know that just decreasing prescribing of opioids is not enough to really stem this opioid crisis that we have. And we know that this is really connected to other diseases of despair.
At this point, we have all been touched by overdose. It's something that none of us have been able to escape among our families, friends, and communities. Every single death is a life that is lost.
Harm reductionists like Dr. Jennifer Carroll attribute the increase in calls to a few sources: an uncertain drug supply tainted with fentanyl, but also protection for people who are calling 911, called Good Samaritan laws. As the number of calls for overdoses went up the last few years, the number of fatal overdoses RPD has responded to went down. So far this year, 48 people in the city have died after overdosing, the fewest since 2019. Experts believe the small percentage of calls resulting in a fatal overdose is a result of strengthening drug policies that protect people with substance use disorder, as well as expanding programs like increasing access to naloxone. And that's why those addressing the crisis, like Dr. Michael Baca-Atlas, says taking a multifaceted approach to tackling it is necessary.
We really need to meet people where they are, I think, rather than expecting people to necessarily show up to traditional centers where people receive care.
We can keep dropping this number. We can do it. And we know the loved ones behind those numbers whose lives will be saved.
For WRAL News, Allie Ingersoll, Raleigh.